Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I have been sick for the past week, and I'm finally feeling better, and I may go live after this. That's how energized I feel. I just finished running some errands, and I was like, you know what? It's time to do something that I haven't done in a long ass time, and that is do an unboxing video. Well, not an unboxing, but like a walkthrough, a flip through, and with some commentary on it on a deck that I got. This is well, I mean, it says it right there on the cover. The Terra Volatile Collector's Edition of the Terra Volatile Tarot, right? The Volatile Earth, like Terra, by Credo Cuia Absurdum. And this is the little, this is their pocket edition of their big book. I think that's maybe on the nose, but this is their, I think this would be their little white book, which is actually a pretty good sized book. I think this is really all you need. There's no pictures in it. I think it's just a majority of it is text. And it's from just the few lines and maybe a paragraph or so that I've read on from it. It's not bad, but I haven't seen much of it. What I do like though is that there are some nice spreads in the back that, you know, I was like, okay, different spreads. There's no Celtic Cross. I love it already, you know. I'm like, new spreads to add to the collection that I'm probably going to try out. Some of these look very interesting, very alchemical focused. Now, the thing with this is that there were misprints with it. Well, the whole print run was not to their liking. It came out darker than usual. And so this collector's edition, they're like very disappointed. And it seems to be a thing that happens every time with this. And also this deck. This is truly a collector's edition. This is not for, like, you are not going to be using this. This is look, first of all, that's the oh my gosh, I can't. It's too big. The cards are too slippery. I think if the cards are going to be this big, look, I mean, look at this. Look at this. If the cards are going to be this big, I don't think you need to make it a glossy, slippery type thing. I think they could have done a nice, thicker cardstock lamination, I think. But not thicker, I mean, because these cards are pretty thick in and of themselves. I know how I'm going to be using this deck, which is, I will be using this as a replacement for my card of the day, which I've been using just this large Rider-Waite Smith. Which is 78, you know, the 78 Rider-Waite Smith, you know, just large. I mean, here's a regular standard tarot card. And for comparison, you know, and I mean, look at how much, look at that. Look at, it's, I look at how much, like, it's just, it's too much. It's too much. It's too big. It's too big. It's too big to be, like, actually usable. But I believe they do plan on making this in, like, again, I think they make this edition with, like, all the cards, all the alternative cards, you know, available. And honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Now on camera, on screen, as I'm looking at it, it doesn't look too bad. They said it came out darker than what they wanted. I'm like, it doesn't, I'm like, not to me. I'm like, it looks fine to me. So yeah, and so it comes with all the alternatives to them, which I feel like if you're gonna make so many alternatives to your deck, I think you might as well just make two separate decks at this point, you know. Because again, here's one version of the Lovers, here's another, here's the Chariot, here's another Chariot, here's Justice, here's another Justice. But I don't think all the majors have alternate cards. I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, because I mean there are three. I'm not a big fan of this version of the hermit. I don't know why. I just don't. I don't know, something about the 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 meditativeness of it. It just doesn't seem like, I don't know. There's something about it. There's something off about it, and I can't put it to words at the moment. You know, there's two versions of the wheel. Strength and force. Also, because I'm just getting over being sick, you may hear me sniffle, maybe cough a bit, but so far it's not. And so yeah, like this is just more aesthetics, I feel. I don't know which I like more. I think I like the brighter one. And then this one here. And then this is also a cool version of it too, but on one hand, I'm like, you know what? Make it two different decks. But then on the other hand, I'm like, well, it's kind of like a living text almost, where people keep adding and editing and making alternatives. Some of them I feel like, okay, maybe we should like try doing something a little bit more, do more differentiation between them. Like here's like, again, like this devil to this devil, you know, that I like. But these two, I'm like, okay, I can do without this one, you know. And the art and the temperance card, like that I can see a little differently. The tower, I like. I like the differences where it's like a more personal, egotistical versus the building systemic type construction of the tower. More Icarus versus Babel. What are you looking for here? I like this star card here. Now, mind you, I only ever had the very first version of the Terra Volatile, I think. Either the first edition or the second edition. One of the very earliest editions when they first came out. And so I don't have any of these alternate cards that are here. Like, I didn't even know they had three of them so far. I think... You see, this is one where this is where it's going to be difficult to see which sun to take. I like the middle one, but I like all three. I like the alchemical representation of what the sun means in this one. With like I think this comes, it taps into the Marseille-ness of the sun, but like layering on more overtly alchemical stuff. I like the Jesus-headed lamb in the Judgment card. And I also like the trumpet, and then actual Jesus here with multiple different Jesuses. Oh, like different reincarnations or something, right? Anyways, and here we have the world. I like this one more, I think. I like the swirling cloth. So yeah, and then we have, let's see, and then of course the two different different relationships in the Two of Cups. I'm like, this one I feel like we don't need this version, you know. Then we have the four, yeah. So yeah, I think we get alternates for each of the majors. Then we get alternates for the six. This one's more Christmas, Charles Dickens. This one's more Oliver Twist. I don't know. 8. The Nine of Cups was changed, and I can see why they did. I'm glad they changed it because they had an idea for with like a Buddha figure with the Nine of Cups, but the face on the Buddha looked just, I don't think they executed it well. It didn't look right. I think they could have done a better job with a Buddha figure for the Nine of Cups, but I'm okay with this though. Though it does lean a bit more into the Victorian Romantic a bit. Is this alternate page, right? I kind of like her more. I like her more than him, but I like him too. You know what it is? It's because I feel like his scarf, you know, cloak is like too bubbly over his chest. Their chest, I think. I honestly, pages are they thems. Like, let's be real. Okay, I like the alternative knights. I like the two different knights. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I like this king. Did they change the King of Cups? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I like this ace. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure which I'm vibing with more. Come to it later. I like this. I love the four. I love this deck. This deck was so cool to make. What is this? Is this two different fives, right? Yeah, two different fives. Which one to use, though? I don't know. Yeah, here's the 6. Two different 6s here. Huh. Okay. Then oh yeah, I loved this 7 in particular. This is very much a classic, but I think this truly speaks to what the Terra Volatile represents. This is definitely much more a Rider-Waite Smith. Here we have the 8. They changed the 8 now. It's a bit. And I don't work with the one that I have because they keep adding more cards, and I'm like, you know what? This adds an opportunity to really make the deck your own. I don't know which one to do. This one's very Klimt-esque with his clothes. But again, I feel like this one speaks more to the themes of the deck, I feel. And again, same with this one. Which do you pick? Which do you pick? I'm loving these alternate pages that they added, but I like this one too. They why they gotta do it? Why they gotta make them so nice? Two different knights, right? Does he have a gold mask? Why they gotta do it like that? Why they gotta do it like that? Two different kings. I think I like both, but I like him. I like him more with the antlers on his head and the grapes. I like a grape. I like a king with grapes. Yeah, the 3 of Swords. I do like I'm not a big fan of the heart with the 3 of Swords, but I do like how it's like ashy, like a lump of ash. Two different 4s. Again, I feel like this one leans more into the alchemical. This one's more maybe like again, like a gothic Victorian romantic, like a more edgier Victorian romantic aesthetic. I do like this 5. I think the facial expressions are there. This one seems it matches in theme with their aesthetics as a whole, as a brand. But it reminds me too much of the Hush Tarot, and I'm not a big fan of the Hush Tarot. Let's see. I don't like the 6 of Swords where the swords are like this. It seems they're too stiff just on there, where this one looks more mobile, and it is the more traditional, but I don't know, something about it. Then the 2 different 7s. Yeah, this one I really can see how dark it came out, but I do like the fox. The 8, 9, the 10. This is really cool. Is this really what it looks like? Is this really what the last 10 of Swords look like? Give me a second. I need to see this. Well, would you look at that? It is. It just goes to show how little I work with the actual deck here. But yeah, and seeing the cards here, I'm like, oh yeah, they really are much darker. Let's see the pay. Oh, well, I like it, but then it's like, hold on, I'm gonna set her aside because there's a thing with a Queen of Swords with a decapitated head, and it's like I feel like that's something that should only be for the Queen of Swords. I'm sorry, that's just me. That's just me. But I do like the different knights here. I like her. I love her. But that being said, I also still like, aesthetically, I like her as well. They really make it hard to make you to choose, which I can see why they're like, you can pick, but I'm like, they're so similar. Except for these two. These obviously are like, this is more traditional, this is more artistic. If that makes sense. Do you see where I'm getting at? I like this one more. I like this one more. I feel like there's more dynamic movement here. Meanwhile here it's more, they feel a bit more stiff. And it looks more typical Rider-Waite Smithy. This looks more like it fits with the deck more. 6, here's the 7 with a samurai. Do they keep the different 8s? See, this is, well, yeah, actually, I do like the different 8s here, where one is like emitting from the divine, and then another is receiving unto oneself. One is emission, one is reception, and something coming towards oneself versus witnessing something being declared. And can you pick up on these messages here versus like you're obviously hearing something, you know? That's what I'm kind of getting from the two, and I like both of them. Here you have the 9. I'm not a big fan of this 10 with the numbers on it. I feel like that's kind of like, you don't need to number them. I don't know if that's not how the original was like. And I feel like you don't need to do that. I don't know why. Maybe that's, I don't know why they did that. Maybe I don't think, maybe they explain it in the book. I don't know. The different pages, right? Yeah, I do like the different pages here. I think I like him more. I like the painted face. The different knights. See, I think this one's more on brand for the deck itself, with a very Paimon-esque, with the camel with the skull on it and the fire around. This one looks more modern, almost like a, what's it called? Not the True Black, but I used to have it, but I can't remember what it's called. The 2 queens. I feel like this is more her. And then the king. And then we're going into the extra suit here, the suit of vessels, which is essentially inspired directly from the Splendor Solace images, which I do like, and I think you can read into, and I like what they did with it. Like, I much rather prefer them do this with that alchemical, with those alchemical images, rather than what some tarot decks tried to do and try and like force the major arcana into it. I think it's its own process and stage that you can read the images as its own thing, and I like it. I like this more. I don't know if they did any I don't think they did any changes. Maybe this one's different. Oh yeah, this is an alternative, I think. Yeah. The 2 different pages. I like the geometric lines onto this. I wish more of the cards did that. And then the yes and the no card, which I don't think I had these. But yeah, this is, it's a nice addition, I think. I think the cardstock lends itself to be really nice. Like, I feel comfortable leaving them out with like as like a card of the day, but to draw them and to actually use them, I don't know how one would actually do that. Its usability is quite limited to how big this thing is, which is unfortunate. I thought it was getting something a little more usable. I didn't think it'd be like this. Because you don't, this is listen, you cannot shuffle this overhand, or God forbid riffle shuffle it. But yeah, it's quite large, and if I believe there are, and again, putting it, and also putting it into the box is also like just tricky as well, but it does feel, the box does feel secure. So this truly is a collector's artistic collector's piece. It's not it's not one that you would pull out and use. If you are, how? But this definitely is one that it's like, yeah, maybe they should have made it just a tad smaller, you know, just a little bit thinner, you know, just something usable. But I don't think that was the idea. I did not follow along on the creation of this thing, but yeah, which again, it seems that every time they do make this deck, it seems that they always come through some production issues with it. And I think it just seems to be a thing. I think I think they need to either switch manufacturers, maybe? Question mark? I don't know. What do I know? I haven't made a deck yet. But this is, but at the end of the day, the box is well designed and everything. That's so cool. You can really, on camera, you can really see all the details much better. And it's truly, I mean, hey, well done, honestly, for the most part, other than like, unfortunately, it came out darker than what they wanted. And this little book here, I think I think people should have on hand. Even if you don't, I think if you have, yeah, I think you only can read it with the deck. But I got it just because I was like, okay, you know, just to see what they said. Oh, and Denis Poisson did the forward, of course. So yeah, I'm like, we'll see if I even pull out the original copy that I have and read with it. We'll see. We'll see. I recently went through my whole collection and got rid of a bunch of decks. I purged my collection. I just wasn't using much of them. They just weren't resonating with me. So yeah, I literally got rid of a bunch, and I sold them? Question mark? Would that be right? I sold them to my local metaphysical shop. Because I was like, you know what, I am not gonna deal with y'all's back and forth on the emails and the DMs of, is this available? Can I have more pictures of it? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. I don't want. And no. And then it'll be like, can you hold it for me? No, you're either gonna buy it or not. Like it's exhausting. It's exhausting. But that being said, there are some that I will be selling myself personally, either I think through eBay or something. I don't know. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think of this deck. I think I'm gonna get. I want this. But like this. But like this, please. Please. Because I would love to use these sized cards for the card of the day. Something. Or maybe through a Decan walk I have the cards out, you know, for the cards of the Decan that are corresponding to that. Maybe. I do not know. And there I go, dropping cards. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me see. What else? I think that's it. I will see you all in the next video or live stream that I do. All right. Bye everyone.